So I bring that up because just recently, Vlad asked Marlon Wayans to come on the show.
Of the Wayans brothers?
Yes.
The one we talked about a couple weeks ago.
Of the legendary family, the Wayans. But the family is deep. The family is legendary. And you know what Marlon Wayans told Vlad?
All I saw was a title about 40K, but I don't know actually what transpired.
Okay, well, what happened was during an interview with Ari Spears. Y'all up on Ari Spears?
Yep.
Yeah, I think bro's kind of funny.
Yeah, he was funny. He got some controversy too, but go ahead. We can get sidetracked. Yeah.
He did it. Vlad had, I think Ari Spears is now regular on Vlad.
Okay.
So during one of their interviews, Vlad shared with Ari Spears that Marlon wanted to charge him 40 racks to come on the show. And he said that Vlad said absolutely not. Ari Spears didn't. I think Ari Spears deliberately kind of stayed away from it.
As he should.
And he just listened to Vlad vent. And then Vlad decided, let me go to Twitter and put that out there.
Shit, you already put it on the interview. Why not?
Yeah, you already put it on the interview. So let me read a couple tweets and then I'll get your reaction. So the first tweet is DJ Vlad's Twitter account, at DJ Vlad. Go.
Vladimir.
It says he posted, Marlon Wayans found someone with 200 followers to agree with him.
Wow.
LOL. Nobody on earth is going to pay Marlon 40 racks for an interview when he gets 100K to 300K views on any platform he interviews on. This guy is really delusional. What's your reaction to that?
He said how many, from what views to what views?
100K to 300K.
Okay. I mean, I want to know who. What's the median for the amount of views that Vlad get for him to say that?
What do you mean?
Well, like, where do we average around when it comes to views as far as he go? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, you mean when Vlad gives an interview?
Right.
Well, that's going to be one of the tweets that I'll read in a little bit.
Okay, and what's the other one that's a regular? I couldn't think of his name. He be like, who raised you? He talk kind of feminine to me.
One of the Wayans?
No, he's a comedian, man. I can't think
Godfrey?
Not Godfrey. Not Ari Spears.
OG or a young
The one that stole from Eddie Murphy. We'll go back to it. He stole Eddie Murphy.
Younger or older dude?
Older now. You know what I'm saying?
No, not Paul Mooney. He way older.
No, we'll go back to it.
When you say feminine.
He talk feminine. To me, he just I know he not gay.
Okay.
No.
TK Kirkland?
There we go. I want to know when TK Kirkland go on there, because he was a regular for a long time, what do he average on there?
Oh, in views?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. But one of the things I didn't really like about this tweet by Vlad was that saying that someone with 200 followers agrees with him. It's like we're measuring people's value and credibility and whether their voice matters by the number of followers they have. I just think it's ridiculous. So that means if someone had 500,000 followers, then that would have meant more to Vlad. But this guy has 200 followers that agreed with Marlon.
Well, in his defense, I think his whole approach to responding is off base. But when you're off base with that, when he feel like he has the right to assess Marlon's value, then of course everything he's gonna say is there's no way Vlad can assess a member of our community's value and what we appreciate. When we look at like how you describe what the Wayans family was able to do from ground up, Vlad's willing to pay his price has nothing to do with it being established at that value.
Do you know that, I just thought of this right now, the Wayans family is probably the most successful Hollywood acting comedy family ever.
I agree.
Ever.
Evident.
So anyone from that family that you want to pick out and holler at, you're going to have to go by their, whatever they're asking.
And Vlad, people are getting at you from a position as you have been highly viewed as a vulture of our community. So he's letting you know, I'm not interested in your platform. But if you really want me to come on here and lend my expertise, I'm going to charge you a very premium price. It has nothing to do with how many views he's going to get. You're missing the whole point that's being sent to you from people in our community who do not need your platform to be exposed. Those who are established and well-grounded and confident in what they have to offer the world are not interested in being on your platform.
All right, let me read you want to say something, Munch?
No, go ahead.
I was going to read the Marlon's response. Marlon says, smiley emojis. See, I tried to tell him I was giving him a deal. Oh, well. You mad? You unprofessional, my guy. If you don't like the number, keep it moving. You look bad. You should fall back, mad at a black man, stating his number. And now you go public and use your platform to try to drag me. I never in my life dealt with this silly negotiating tactic.
I agree. Because you can't afford it now, it's disrespectful.
No, I don't think
he could afford it.
I don't think Vlad is. It's not about he can't afford it.
But we're going to give him.
I think Vlad feel like people should be what's the word to come on this platform?
Eager, pleased, happy, desperate.
Yeah, no, not desperate, but
Willing, eager,
whatever.
anxious,
That he feel like
lining up.
something along those lines, lining up. Like, yeah, I got this big platform, and you know what I'm saying. Delighted.
What's that?
I'll go delighted. And then on top of that, I feel if these rappers charge 30, 40, 50,000 a verse.
The Boosie, huh? Oh, I thought you wanted Vlad. My bad. Go ahead.
These rappers charge 30, 40, 50 a verse upwards of that. Why somebody of Marlon Wayans stature can't charge 40K and you go have this footage for the rest of his life?
I think the problem.
He wanted 30% of all.
Oh yeah. He wanted some on the back end too.
Huh?
30% of all future. I'm telling you, boy, he was making a point.
Hold on. 30% what? Hold on.
Of the AdSense.
Yeah.
Oh, no. He just didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to say. He was trying to make a point to Vlad about his appearance as a vulture. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that Marlon probably didn't want to do the interview at all. Period.
Exactly.
I know, probably.
And a lot of people that don't want to do the interview, rather than saying no, I'm not interested in it, you give them a number that you know they're not going to pay. And usually that's the end of the conversation. That's the end of the thing. You just go separate ways.
Or what about a counter offer? Isn't that how business works? Professionalism. Vlad want to
How do you
accuse him.
counter offer 40 racks
No, and then what percent of the AdSense?
or 30%?
See, crazy.
But I've been hearing reports that he gives Boosie 30K. I don't know how true that is, but that's been the common understanding that Boosie gets 30.
But it might have been the AdSense that threw it off.
But it's still a business conversation.
Yeah, but he's never paid that much for any interview, so I don't think he was even willing to pay anything near that. And I'll give you an example. He tried, Vlad, when me and Vlad were talking, he reached out to me to get Bone to come on there. Bone don't do interviews. So Bone told me to tell him a ridiculous number that he knew he was going to say no to.
Give us ideas so we can compare. What
I don't want to
range?
say. I don't want to say what the number was.
And I know the number.
The whole thing is,
'Cause I don't do-
Bone didn't want to do it anyway. So
Bone- yeah.
he put the
Yeah.
price high so he could turn it down. Like, well,
So Bone didn't want to do it at all, but he said, "Hey, if he wants to do it, then tell him this is what my number is to go to a charity. Actually, this is the number to go to a charity." And then what's crazy is Vlad tried to call somebody else to try to go get to Bone, and the same result. I'm like, I'm the one. If you want to get to Bone, you got to go through me, just so you know, you know. But he gave him a high number, and I think that maybe Marlon was giving the same message. I
agree.
I don't want to do it.
the AdSense is ridiculous. I don't think the 40,000 was ridiculous though.
It's ridiculous in concept, but when you're a black man trying to make a point to a non-black man who benefits off our culture with all he does is turn on cameras and microphones. That's been his addition.
Stand behind the camera.
Yeah, and so therefore I understand the statement that Marlon was making by taking that position.
I understand the statement, the stand he was taking, but if he was serious, that's really what he was trying to negotiate. I think the 3% of the AdSense is ridiculous.
30.
I mean,
But he's making everybody that come behind him aware of maybe I should be doing a little bit more negotiating when I get on this platform, because if you become aware that Vlad is giving you nothing or whatever he's giving you, and then he's going on with that content to ascertain millions, you have to start thinking collectively of what percentage of that is our input. It's all our creative speaking. He does nothing but capture it. So there has to come, when you, especially at the upper echelon of our members, have to think about offsetting, you know what I'm saying, the profit. He's gotten away like a fat cat.
yeah, but really though, this is like I might be saying the word wrong, non sequitur, but it might because he didn't have no intentions on doing it. Period.
He was making a point.
Yeah. But if he was really like even considering moving forward with doing an interview with him, the 30% of the AdSense that's what is the deal breaker.
Yeah. Why do you feel that way? You agree? Why do you guys feel that way?
I do think that, first of all, paying $40,000 for an interview, I think, is outrageous.
I don't feel that. I don't think the 40,000 for him is ridiculous. It's the AdSense part. And then I used to compare it to rappers. Rappers get that just for spitting 45 seconds of a rap.
Yeah.
And
But
they get that, and then you about to have this for the rest of your life. So when he died, you could use this again.
No, you could argue that because when you have an entertainer come perform, you're gonna pay that entertainer 50,000, 60,000, 70,000. How much did that one entertainer that Fat Joe said that lives in Miami? He charges 400,000 to do a show.
no, I literally have an offer right now for Ice Spice and Sexy Red. It's a 6-figure offer from a promoter that I know is willing. So that's understandable. The thing is, the point he's making to Vlad, he's
No, we
making.
get him. He making
Yeah, that's it. I feel why you feel like it wouldn't be fair to get at everybody like that.
I don't put interviews in the same category of entertainment because interviews are supposed to be journalism, and in journalism, you ain't supposed to pay for the information.
Man.
The information is supposed to come out of the interest of pushing journalism forward.
What you got to realize, everything is evolving.
Well, guess how much money the Breakfast Club paid Marlon Wayans to come on there?
Yeah, that's
He
put it in perspective. What?
He respect
Nothing.
their platform.
They don't pay for interviews on the Breakfast Club.
Cameron and Mace,
You know?
just went on $1 million worth of game. Cameron,
Because-
he only doing Drink Champs or $1 million worth of
I
game,
know, but-
and he's not charging them.
Let me
You know what I'm saying?
let me make this journalism point because platforms like the Breakfast Club is operating out of the school of journalism. They're not paying for interviews, but maybe Vlad, Nori, if they want to pay, they're gonna pay because they don't look at themselves as journalists.
No jumper.
No jumper.
They pay.
But the reality is when you're doing an interview, you're doing journalism, but you're not abiding by the rules of journalism. But Breakfast Club has to abide by the rules of journalism because that's under the corporate umbrella. You
And
know?
I think outside of that, that may be exactly the way it should be. However, they seem to be more of a grassroots urban platform. We didn't see anybody other than this from its inception. Whether the corporate side was involved with that, we saw black people.
Yeah, at Breakfast Club. You talking
Breakfast
about.
Club.
Yeah.
So as they established themselves as a staple, we feel more comfortable going on there and looking at them as something that's helping us. Your platform, the average street artist or street member that was trying to get some exposure, change their life, tell their story, you were established. So we felt benefited by coming on your platform. You got platforms popping up every day without no type of resume amongst the community, non-black. Of course, there's going to be a charge element that's going to be immediately apparent.
Yeah, I get it because most of these platforms aren't operating under the guise of journalism. But and that's unfortunate because some of these platforms do get big. They don't mind paying. And those platforms that don't want to pay, they're not going to get the same interviews. But, you know, I've gotten interviews from people that have charged on other platforms, even charged on Vlad, I believe, will come on my platform for free.
Munchie and myself charge certain people and we're willing to appear other places without charging. When Munchie first came in the game and was getting popping, I was telling him, look, you can't go to everywhere like without just, and he figured it out quick. But then it's certain people you respect and you see it's more of an even trade for us having a conversation. And in other places you realize I'm more of an asset being here and you really need me here. And this is more of a business transaction with me being here. And it's all respect. It's a thing that's like not drawn in black and white, but we figure it out.
All right, let me read DJ Vlad's response to Marlon from the last tweet where Vlad says, I'm not mad at all. I find it all this amusing because you really think you're worth $40K for an interview. I said there's nobody on earth that will pay you that, and I've yet to be proven wrong. Throwing out a stupid ass number for an interview is unprofessional, my guy, because your interviews don't even make 5% of that on every platform you do. And bringing up race when there was no mention of it throughout all of our discussions show how weak of a man you really are.
This one, Oprah, Shannon Sharp, supposed to be up offering $50,000 for a Marlon Wayans interview publicly right now.
Hey man, I don't know why you said Oprah.
Just okay.
Oprah, no, for real.
Yeah, get on there if you got to. But yeah,
for
you
real.
get my point though.
Right.
Those that got it, that wouldn't mind talking to Marlon Wayans, that would give him less than that, go ahead, give him that and make a point. Or don't give it to him and report that we did, y'all.
As much as I don't get along with this dude, Vlad, because he doesn't like me ever since I interviewed him on the Gangster Chronicles back in 2019, I do agree that paying $40, 40 racks for an interview is outside of any normal practice. But I will give an example of somebody that did, and he got caught and he got in trouble. Dr. Phil, operating as a journalist, operating under the rules of journalism, wanted to beat everybody else to this interview. So in order to do it, he had to come out the pocket to do it. And he paid 200 racks for this interview.
Who was that?
It was Octomom.
Oh, that was.
And then
I remember that.
And then when he got caught, he denied that he paid the money. And here's a way you get around it.
So she was hitting a lick off top.
So here's how you get around it. Here's how you get around it. I don't know if Dr. Phil used, I think he used something similar. He said, I didn't pay Octomom $200,000 for the interview. I paid Octomom $200,000 so I could license the photos of her kids, the video footage of her kids, and all the other content that we use with the interview. And that's perfectly legal within the rules of journalism.
I would have did it because she just pushed out all these kids, and they're gonna need the assistance.
But the thing
200,000 is not gonna last long with how many kids is not.
He said what his lawyer told him to say.
No, but that's usually the way.
That's why they did it, and they did it knowing that they can color it in that fashion.
Look, I've done many interviews for different like network documentaries.
Would have went better, for sure.
And when they want to use photos and videos that I have, I can make up to $8,000, $9,000, $10,000. People think I got $12,000 or $10,000 for the interview. I said, no, the interview was free. It's just that they licensed 5 photos. And
is that actual or is that technical creativity to keep everything in place?
Hey, it's hard to answer that because there are people that will say, okay, you don't want to pay me for the interview? Like, no, okay, but we want your interview. And that they have a conversation saying, all right, well, we'll pay you for X, Y, and Z, which falls within the parameters of pure journalism, just so that you can get the money that you're happy with. So did they pay for that interview? You can say, yeah, they kind of did pay for that interview, but did they find a way to pay him for something else to get that interview? That's what they did.
What's wrong with the motto of compensating the interviewee? If we are aware that you're guaranteed for to turn around, get my free conversation and turn it into thousands upon thousands of dollars for yourself, where does that become a justified practice at all?
Historically, paying for interviews has always led to misinformation. And it's just difficult to trust the words that are coming out of the mouth of someone that's only sitting in that chair and is only sharing the story with you because you paid them.
So if a young lady hit you and said, hey, I'm the victim of a certain public crime that's been reported online a lot. It's me that they talking about. I was there. I'm dying to tell my story.
Yeah.
I can add some clarity to things I've heard you talk about online. And I'm from your hood. I'm from 59 East Coast. But desire some compensation, would you immediately doubt the validity of what they were stating? Or do you just think that they see the overall landscape and everything's moving and they don't want to just miss out on something they believe may be available?
It's harder to trust a person that's saying, I'll tell you everything that I saw, but you got to pay me. And then also, you just turned an interview into a business transaction now. And then now you're going to say, hey, when you need some more information, next time, hit me up. So it's I mean, there's so many examples why journalism has figured out this is not cool for our field. Look at all the lies that Keefe D told on Vlad. Because he got paid whatever, $4,000 or $5,000.
I just know Baby Lane ain't killed Tupac. I've been knowing that since the day Tupac died.
Okay.
Rest in peace, Baby Lane the Lope.
He just completely went left field on that. But on that real quick, we're gonna come back to the to Vlad, DJ Vlad, and Marlon. But on that, you're basically saying somebody else in that car was the shooter, not Lane.
Definitely.
Yeah, and that person is deceased because everybody in that car is deceased except for Keefe D. Yeah. Okay. But regarding this response to Marlon Wayans, I kind of didn't like the way he said this part right here. You bringing up race when there's no mention of it throughout all of our discussions shows how weak of a man you really are. Hey, if a man feels like his race is being questioned or his race is impacted or his race has something to do with it, he has every right to go there.
It's the arrogance of the vulture, not realizing why you're getting this type of response in the first place, because we don't like, or he particularly doesn't appreciate your dynamic with his race. It was about race when you show interest in nothing but black people throughout your whole career giving interviews. You have an interest in our race. That's obvious, brother.
Yeah, and although I would never pay any amount. I do think 40K is too much. But to respond to the guy saying you throwing out a stupid ass number for an interview, because just as Munchie said, these artists make more than that for less time in many instances.
Right.
I can't remember the name of the rapper that Fat Joe said in Miami. He tried to tell him, "Hey, I got 100,000 for you to come perform."
He passed it up.
Dude said, "Hey, Fat Joe, my number's 400."
Eminem turned down 1 point. On reports, I've been fully aware of Eminem turning down 1 point and 2 point for one show multiple times, bro. And what happens?
When I was a student at USC, we used to get this budget to bring artists to the campus. So when I was there in the 90s, I decided, hey, I wanna bring rappers. So we brought Ice Cube. Bro performed 2 songs.
60.
30,000 and 94. 30,000, and this is 94.
That's 300,000 in 94.
94 was 30. We also had what's the group from up Oakland that Pac used to rap with?
Digital Underground.
Digital Underground. I forgot what we paid. I remember we had Ice-T give a lecture. He had a book out. He gave a lecture for 1 hour. We paid him $5,000 just to talk to students for 1 hour. And then Sister Soldier, we paid Sister Soldier $4,000. This is all 94, 93, 94. Remember Sister Soldier?
Yeah, she was the sharpest female. Why we don't have no renditions? Where's the Little Sister Soldiers at, bro?
Yeah. Oh, you know who the Little Sister Soldier is?
The coldest winter ever. Midnight.
Is she fine? Erica Lachey?
No, the one that's with the rapper that what's the name of that rapper that he became a nice advocate from New York. He was on Clubhouse, got into a whack once. What's that rapper?
Everybody?
No.
Oh.
Everybody getting to
My son. Okay, who's he? My son has a podcast with a sister.
A sister. Oh, I'm not here.
She's the new.
The broad, Tamika Mallory.
You
know what?
She's the new Sister Soldier.
I fell in love with Tamika Mallory's passion and all that. She had gave a speech following one of these murders, and the speech was so moving. I put it up on my channel. It went viral. And about 2 weeks later, I got a copyright strike. I'm like, damn, Tamika.
Yeah, that's some news she want to spread, bro. So
it was like an organic moment at a press conference. She gave a speech at a press conference that turned it to be something like.
She's the one though. Tamika's the one.
That's why she charging us for the message.
It could be her team too. You know, she definitely has a team, and they ain't playing. All right, so Marlon Wayans responds to Vlad. So yes, this has become about race. You trying to turn us into crabs in a barrel. I see your angle now. I watched you play your hand. You want us to talk shit, beef, and tear each other down while you sit back and make money. Meanwhile, you don't even show your face.
Adam shows his face while he does that. Hey, what's his name again?
Marlon Wayans.
Salute, Brody.
Yeah.
You making a hell of a point in a very space that is very relevant, needs to be made, bro.
All right, Vlad's response was, not only do I show my face, he does sometimes, not during the interviews though, but when I do interviews on the same platforms as you, and I think he's talking about like Breakfast Club and a couple others, here are the actual views when we did the Breakfast Club 1 month apart. You reached your peak 20 years ago, and there's an image I think that I'll have on the screen. You reached your peak 20 years ago and have been on the decline ever since. There's nothing wrong with that. But you seem to think that this is still 2004. I've been dropping facts with actual numbers this entire time, and all you can do is play this lame-ass race card in response. So keep looking in the mirror and lying to yourself about who you think you are. The numbers don't back it up, and it's true. Vlad did an interview on the same platform. I believe it's the Breakfast Club. He got more views than Marlon Wayans did.
Okay, Eminem outsells every black artist from his era. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's not even a relevant point to me.
Not at all.
Because it depends on what you're talking about.
Indeed.
If you're talking about something viral.
It's relevant. It's relevant.
Why?
Because he trying to it's the It's the number game. What are you talking about? Like,
No, but you can't just compare. They both were on the Breakfast Club, and one got more views than the other.
And when you
It's just like every episode of Straight Politicking ain't gonna get the same views.
but we're not comparing. You're not putting it up to no.
But
like,
I compared our episodes to our previous episodes.
yeah, that's
You know,
straight politicking versus straight politicking.
yeah.
We're not talking about Vlad versus Marlon Wayans. We talking about two different.
Well,
you know what I'm
I
saying?
don't think it's relevant at all that Vlad got more views than Wayans, because we got to look at what was Vlad talking about. What if Vlad was talking about Keefy D in that interview and Keefy D just got arrested? Boom, that's gonna go
When
viral.
you're the most odd, rare member of a certain sector, you're going to stand out more. You're white.
When Vlad just got beat up by Rick Ross in his camp. You know what I'm saying? So didn't they really want to eat Billy?
Yeah, but no, he doesn't actually. You know, before every interview, Vlad has "Do not ask me" questions, and one of them is "Don't ask me about that Rick Ross thing."
See how he bullies our whole community about not being able to ask. He'll ask you prying questions.
I don't care to put that out there because normally, let me just say, normally I would never have divulged that, but he's been really disrespectful to me these last couple of years,
He likewise.
undeservingly.
Likewise.
You know, I have done nothing negative to this guy,
Likewise.
but you want to block? He blocked me on all platforms, and I don't even follow the dude.
Likewise.
You know, I don't even follow the
And
guy.
I gave him one of his first ghetto passes to these South Central streets,
Oh
bro.
yeah, that was an A-Trade Gangster.
Oh, my
right?
mama, in the A-Trade Gangsters Hood, where I still got the same exact pass where me and Munchie went right after our last episode of Straight Politics. Same exact address.
So I don't mind saying that he asked not to ask about the Rick Ross. I don't know, what do you call that? The Rick Ross beating,
Beat down, suing,
the beat
telling,
down,
officer work.
which I respected that, you know, on the interview. But you don't have to as a journalist. You don't have to respect that. You can be as a journalist. You're there to ask any question I want to ask.
But this is the only reason he has a staple or a place in hip hop is because he's asked the questions that people don't quite expect him to ask.
Yeah. So hey, here's a little game for the next person to interview Vlad. I will cash app you $500 if you ask him about the Rick Ross beatdown, even though he doesn't want you to ask about it, and then you post that interview. I will cash app you $500.
That'd be a waste of money, bro.
What, you think someone's gonna do it?
No, because the response he go get, so it'd be a waste.
What do you mean?
I'm not gonna talk about that. You know.
No, he's got.
My lawyer advised me not to. You know, it's still in
Oh,
court.
yeah, he's gonna give a.
Oh yeah, so that.
No, I will commend the person that asked the question regardless after being told not to ask it.
But you'll never get the evidence for 500 because he's gonna say don't release it. I won't sign a release if you do that. If you ask me, so the 500 is not gonna be worth it. We might have to up the number.
No, what do you mean?
Because the interview is probably gonna be unreleasable once they put him on the spot.
And you said after the interview.
Well, here's what you do. I'm gonna give you whoever was willing to do this. I'm gonna give you game. Have your guest Vlad sign the release before the interview. Okay, and then ask the question while cameras are rolling, and then post that interview.
You gotta go on Funny Marco. Get him Funny Marco.
Yeah, but okay. Let me read. We got one more tweet here. The last. There's many tweets. These guys went back and forth for a minute. This is the sixth and last tweet I'm gonna read. This is Marlon Wayans responding back to Vlad. See, Vlad, this is the moment you've been begging for. I've asked you to leave me alone, let it go, but you want to kick a bee's nest. You can't compete with me, bro. I am legend, all caps. And occasionally I come off the throne to spar with peons like you. Keep going. There's levels to this shit.
He talks shit for a living. And before he talked shit for a living, he did it for a living since a kid with big brothers. You don't want to talk shit with Marlon, Vlad, leave it alone.
And then Marlon got to going in on body parts, and I don't like getting into all of that.
What he said, he got a BBL or something.
No, the hair. The hair stuff. I think Marlon posted the number of the grossing of his movies in total. Guess what the number of the total gross of his movies is?
300 million.
1.2 billion with a B. Either 1.2 or 1.3 billion with a B. How you gonna argue with a guy who's grossed over $1 billion for Hollywood?
Because neither does he want, nor does he need the 40,000. Oh, he's making a point.
Yeah.
He letting you know what you can't afford.